John for what, 40 years? Something like that.
We'll use 40.
His dad, if I had this right, your dad used to coach David Kimmery, right? In baseball.
Yeah, we used to play Legion ball.
When David was, he's now 74, same as me, and David was a kid, his dad was his baseball coach. And David is the one that owns all this now. This is, of course, welcome to Sanderson Ford. It's, I worked here from 61 through 2012. I was here 51 years. And cars were my love and people were my love, and I got the job of a lifetime. Starting here, not knowing I'd even, just a high school kid. Anyway, I loved it, so I stuck around and retired in 12, and I still do the fun stuff for them. In fact, some of the guys in the office will say, we see you more now than when you worked here. So that's kind of embarrassing, but I do a lot. I had a tour yesterday. I've got 90 going through on Thursday, so this place, people need to see it. It's private, but we like to show it. He likes to have people see it. This was a parts house. This is basically a parts building. The other two rooms were, the first room was like a, when Checker stores came to town years ago, little auto bring by car parts and stuff, we opened a little Checker store on Sanderson Ford. And then the middle room was like a phone room. All of our parts guys make phone calls to, we supply parts for all of Arizona for the Ford dealers. We've got probably about 10 to 12 million in parts at all times in that building next door. So we built a new parts house, gutted this thing, and Sue, who is a daughter of Don Sanderson, always envisioned something like this. Don Sanderson would have not envisioned anything like this. He would have thought it was totally stupid, ridiculous, a waste of money. He would order a new demo and order crank windows on it. I don't need push button. You know, he just was a regular kind of guy. Anyway, he passed away in '85, and she envisioned this, and we gutted it. I had some friends of mine come in and build these facades for her, and she went out and filled them. And they're really full right now. I've got to apologize. There's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't belong in there. They had two homes in Glendale that sold antiques and like that, Amish quilts, all kinds of stuff. Sue passed away at 68 years old about 4 years ago with a lot of health issues. And so they sold those homes, and those pictures and stuff, they're really some cool pictures. We have no more wall space. They are in the process of dropping the hammer on a new museum. Because he's got 30 cars that aren't even in here. So he's got to add on, and that's in the process of blueprints. But anyway, I'll just tell you quickly about kind of the cool car for me is, because I remember it, we opened up in May of '55, and sometime between May, I never asked Mr. Sanderson when this happened, but between May and November, he traded for a 1930 Model A. It's a black Model A over here against the wall. And when I came to work here, it was parked in the back, and I'd wash it on Saturday just to have, it was just a cool old car. It had Don Sanderson on the doors. And Mrs. Sanderson used to chase parts, because when they bought this place, it was like an acre and a half. It was a mom and pop store. So she would chase parts on Saturdays, go down to 7th Avenue Auto Parts, if they needed parts for a car in that Model A. So she loved the old car. Anyway, in 1970, he sold it. And she wasn't a happy camper. And in 2004, so it was gone. In 2004, I got a phone call, the guy selling his collection of cars. I got a black Model A, I'd like to have you guys have first crack at buying your car back. And I said, did it say Don Sanderson on the door? Yeah. I said, I know that car. And I said, I'll make the deal. We'll work back and forth. He started here and I ended up here. We made a deal. I didn't tell anybody here, because I knew May of '05 we were going to have our 50th anniversary of having this place open, having a big party at the Biltmore, and Ford Motor would be here. How cool to get this old car back and have it up on the stage. So I just made a decision that I made a deal with a guy, sent a guy to California. Nobody here knew about it. I hid the car at my house for 6 months until the party. Took it to the Biltmore, put it up on the stage, and then presented it back to the family during this party. And Mrs. Sanderson, I mean, she just started crying. It was so cool because she got her car back, and it had not been restored at that time at all. So after the party, we restored it, brought it all back to life. It's got 47,000 miles on it. It's an original. The shocks in the car are the shocks it came with. It was just a cool thing that I got the lucky phone call. And part of that story is, when we went over to pick it up, the gal over there, the wife, she's crying as we're loading the car up, because she doesn't want the car to go. And I said, well, we're going to have it in the museum, it'll be safe. And she said, well, we come to spring training baseball games. Could I come visit it? I said, yeah. So my last year here, I got a phone call. She says, this is so-and-so, and we're here for spring training. Can I come see your car? Our car, your car, whatever. I said, yeah. So I brought her in here. Now it's all restored. And then she starts crying. And they took pictures with it. But anyway, it's a solid, rust-free. It's never been east. It's been to California. The fellow that bought it from us took a Model A trip to Idaho and back. And that thing has never had a split fender on it. It's never had Bondo on it. It's original Model A. Anyway, it's kind of cool. I'm just lucky to get the phone call and get the deal bought and get it back over here. A lot of the cars are purchased at Barrett Jackson. Some of them have been complete builds from the ground up, hot rods and stuff. And if this thing takes off, don't worry about the noise. When the air comes on, these stocks load up with air, and it sounds like a train going through here, so don't be alarmed. The diner part, the diner, the stools, the meter, that was actually in a diner in Kansas years ago, ended up in an antique store in Glendale. And they located it, found it, bought it, and then we built around it, and then she filled it, Sue did. The next store, all the guts to that store came out of a store in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, that closed in '08 when the recession kind of hit. So it's like an old mercantile store. Right as you go into the left, there's a little watchmaker's bench there. You can walk in them. The last room is a kitchen out of the 40s, and you'll recognize when you get there. Ice box in the corner, and Frank telephone, and butter churns. But there's 2 more rooms this way. There's a restroom. Just go, take a look, take pictures. If you have questions, I can probably answer them. But again, welcome to Sanderson, Florida. How many have been here before? Just a couple of you. Okay, good. We'll enjoy it. We got 2 new fellows I just found in the parking lot from Prescott. We were over by the diner, and got talking about hot rods. And I said, well, I'm doing a tour right now, and so I allowed them to join us. So you guys just go take a look, and if you have questions, again, I'll try to answer and have a good time.
And just before you take off to go, we made up a little restaurant guide for people if you got it. And Seretta Chocolate, just back up the second light and then you make a right. And that's a great place to buy chocolate, especially the little green mints. You'll love those. And then they have a diner here where some of our people are right now because they got lost. We just talked to them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so they're on their way in now. And then on this list, there's different restaurants, and you can go on your phone and look for 10 best places to eat in Glendale. And there's a lot of antique shops. So there's a lot to do in Glendale.
Yeah, these are all good.
Yeah. So anyway, enjoy yourselves, and you're on your own.